It's your host, Star Ericka. Today, we're going to talk about losing a child and also what does stillbirth look like. For me, losing a child felt like an indescribable type of pain. It's a different type of hurt. It's not the same type of hurt of losing your sibling. It's not the same type of hurt of losing a parent or an uncle or a cousin. It's different because it's kind of like one of those hurts where it's like a part of you is really gone. Like no one bonded with that child the way you did. No one felt the kicks. No one felt the nausea. No one was sick. No one couldn't hardly breathe. No one was carrying those heavy legs that were filled with fluid. For me, losing a child felt like if I would say the end of the world, it felt like the end of the world. Mainly because you really feel like you're losing a part of you. Like no one felt the hormones and all of that kind of stuff. So when you lose your child, especially as an infant, like or at no like really at no age is it really going to be okay, but I feel like when you lose like your baby before you can get to meet them, you have like no real closure because you didn't even get to see your child alive. You didn't even get to see your child's like heart or chest beating. You didn't get to see that. So for me, losing a child was more like losing a part of myself that I fought so hard to keep alive. Especially with my situation, being that my son's prognosis was like he had a 90% chance of survival. But of course, no one really has a 100% chance. But I mean, 90% makes him less than 100. So it's like there's some doubt, there's 10% doubt. And I really didn't think I was going to be in at 10%. So that was already one thing. And if that wasn't enough, like stillbirth, I feel like people don't know what stillbirth looks like. So if your child is in the womb over 6 hours or something like that, top layer of skin, it gets it's very thin and it starts to separate from the actual underlayer of skin. So whether you push a baby out or have a C-section, you risk the chance of tearing that skin, that outside skin. So a lot of stillborns come out with ripped skin. My son's skin was actually ripped from his neck down to his groin. His full diaphragm and chest was peeled back like a banana. His arms were peeled back and his eyelids were peeled off. So imagine the sight. Now he did have skin on his face. He did have skin on most parts of his arms, his legs, but his full chest, one of his arms and his eyes were peeled, like the skin was peeled off. So imagine the sight that you see. I feel like people don't really know what it looks like to have a stillborn child. Sometimes if they are born quick enough, so if they pass away and they're born within 2 hours or something like that, you have the less chance of their skin macerating after they pass away. So when a baby passes away in utero, you kind of want to get them out as quick as you can. For me, I did not want a C-section. I wanted to go ahead and get my son to the finish line. I wanted to push him out. So I opted into pushing him out. With pushing him out, the friction of him coming out of the vaginal canal assisted in his skin peeling. He was very fragile. He came out lifeless. So therefore, he was very wobbly, very literally his arms and everything felt like water. His hand, everything was just lifeless. He was 5 pounds 12 ounces, so he was almost 6 pounds. He was a heavy boy for 35 weeks 5 days. And I felt like when some people see pictures, they look at him as if he was like a 20-week fetus or 15-week fetus because he has the red aspect. Like some parts of him look like red. It looks like he was underdeveloped. When in actuality, he was fully developed. The only reason he has the red showing versus a 20-week fetus, the 20-week fetus, their skin is not fully there. His skin was there. It just peeled back. So now you're pretty much seeing like that underlying skin, kind of like when you get like a second degree burn. That first degree burn, that first degree is off, and now that second layer, that's where we were at. It wasn't over his whole body, but it was majority of it. So maybe like 60% of his skin was peeled. So with that, I don't know what I was afraid of, but I didn't pick him up. I couldn't hold him. And that is something that some people that were not there did not understand. The first thing they did was judge me, the fact that I lost my baby and I didn't hold him. I couldn't hold him. I just couldn't. I wasn't afraid of what he looked like because essentially outside of the peeling, he was very handsome. He looked just like his dad. He looked just like my daughter. So it's not like he looked terrible, but something in me couldn't. Maybe what if I would have held him and not been able to give him up? What if I would have held him and dropped him and now I have a baby with that just fell and now I really killed him even though he's gone. Like now he done fell out my arms because he's so wobbly. I can't hold him. He's like water. Everything ran through my head. What if I when they was holding him, his head kept going back so his mouth would pop open. One thing that's not talked about with stillborns, they leak blood out of their nose, out of their ears, out of their eye, out of their eyes, out of their mouth. They're leaking blood out of the holes that are on their body. So imagine, like, I kept having to like dab the blood from his nose, and I couldn't even do that initially. Like, my mother-in-law helped me a lot with doing that. So imagine, like, if I would have had him on me, his mouth would have been popped open and like blood would have been on my skin. Like, what would that have done for me? Would it have caused me more trauma? Would I have now been afraid? What would that have done? So I feel like that's not talked about. I feel like, the first thing we see is all the mothers that lose their children that are actually strong enough that, to hold their baby and bond with their baby. I was not strong enough. What about us? What about those moms that couldn't do it? We're not less than because we could not. We wish that we could. I wish I was strong enough. I don't have regrets because I did not hold him because I didn't want to. I wanted to. I just physically could not pick him up. So I feel like losing a child for me was a mixture of, I felt like if I didn't have the faith that I did and God was not within me the way he is, I would have fell by the wayside. I would have been the person that was completely just like, I can't do this. I can't do it. But I was not. In fact, I was stronger than I thought. And I felt like every bit of strength that God could give me, he gave me on the day that I had to push my son out. After his funeral is really when it hit me. I don't know if I went into a state of shock and I just went into like a trauma blocking part where I don't really remember like us. Like, I remember having him, being in a room, and then I remember like getting transported to the after room, like the postpartum room. We were far away from everyone else, all the other moms and babies, so we can grieve and cry and do whatever we need to do. But I don't remember like being in that room. I only remember like having him, being there, and then giving him away. I don't remember like the moments of having him all day. And I don't know why. I feel like I want to remember. I really do. I wish I could I wish I had pictures during that time, but I look back in my phone. I don't even have anything in my phone. So maybe like God was like protecting me from remembering because it would hurt. Because I don't know like how bad it would hurt if I remembered that part. So that in itself, like having those trauma blocking moments where you don't even remember every part of everything. You don't remember everything everyone said. You don't remember that kind of stuff. And then also, for me, like, I don't know if it was like the fact that, because I had him 2 hours away. I had him in St. Petersburg. So I had him in St. Petersburg, Florida. I had to travel back home. So I had to essentially leave his body there. The funeral home, I had to go down there to get him, bring him back down here home. And then, it's a lot. And then I just knew that I would see him again. Like, I knew that I would see him for his wake. I knew that I would see him for his funeral. So maybe I felt that I would see him again. So I didn't really let it bother me as much as it could have. But after putting him in the hole, it did something else. Like, I wasn't as strong. And I remember asking God, like praying during the week, like after, because a lot happened. Like I said, watch my docuseries to actually go over what happened. But a lot happened and I wasn't able to fully like grieve properly because I was also like battling health wise. So like I said, like it was just a bunch of like trauma blocking and a bunch of just like protecting myself by every means necessary. And that for me is like my experience of like what it felt like to lose a child or what stillbirth looked like. It's not a beautiful experience. It's what it is. Everybody thinks about, oh, how beautiful it is. It's not really all that beautiful. Let me not. The experience itself is beautiful, but what it looks like is not always beautiful to the eye. And I feel like I want to prepare mothers that maybe are about to have a stillborn, or maybe they experience a stillborn, and let them know, like, I understand you, because like what the world makes everything look like, it makes it look like it's a beautiful experience and we have to make it beautiful. But it's not always that. Sometimes it's an ugly experience. Sometimes it's horrible. It's hideous. It's not cute. It's not nice. It hurts. And we have to get through it because we have to. Life still goes on. Life changes in a blink of an eye, but it will not stop. You will continue to stay in that moment and never really fully get to where you're trying to get to, because simply because you're stuck. You can't be stuck in time. That's why I say suddenly still. Like suddenly everything was still. Like my son was gone. I was literally there, and I was there in that moment for months. I had to like go through postpartum depression and everything that postpartum had to offer, the hormones and everything else. Also healing a body without a baby, and grieving the loss of my baby. Like I really never thought I would be back. I never thought I would be. I didn't think I would recover. I didn't think that I was ever. I thought I was going to die. I thought that I was going to die either from all the complications that I had postpartum, or from me actually either, I'm not going to lie, letting mental health, depression and all that take me out. or I was just gonna like not wake up. I felt like that. I felt like I was not gonna wake up. I feel like that in itself is when I knew I needed to pray harder, because there's no way I'm meant to die like that. There's no way. There's no way. So I had to really like dig deep within that faith, that mustard seed faith that I had within me, so that I can get where God was trying to take me, so I can find the purpose in the midst of the pain, so that I could find and figure out what it is that I'm meant to do. Because God, you did not bring me all the way here to leave me where I'm at. Like, you did not bring me all the way here to like drop me off and be like, goodbye. Like, no, come on back, sir. You got me to this point. You need to tell me how to get out of here, or get through it, or endure it. So instead of praying for God to like make it all go away, because it's not going to go away, I start praying for God to give me the strength to endure while I'm in the valley. Because we know we got to wait on God. And waiting on God is not an easy task. Like, I don't like waiting on God. I'm not going to lie. I love him. I trust him and all that stuff. And I know he has my best interest at heart, and he has the plans for me and all that stuff. But trusting God and actually waiting on him is like, it's hard. It's very hard. And I feel like people try to make it seem like it's so easy, and it's not. So for me, I had to really dig deep. Like, God, please just help me while I'm in the middle of it, so that I don't lose my mind while I'm in the middle of it. Like, help me to endure. Help me, give me the strength that I need to get through what it is I'm going through. God, help me to be normal again. I was rebuking and binding everything that was in my home. I'm opening doors. Lord, purify my home. Get the anxiety, the depression, the procrastination, the laziness, the doubt, the fears, the worries. Get it out of here. I'm praying over my house. I ain't got no oil, but I'm praying. I'm opening windows, doors, like whatever spirit that is not of you, God, get it out. Get it out, because I cannot live in here with them. Like, they ain't paying no bills or nothing, God. You know how my mortgage and stuff is. Like, ain't no way they finna be sitting in my house, like, residing and causing havoc and chaos in here. And I'm finna just let them live in here for free. No, God, get them up out of here. Because me and them can't live in this house together. Like, I wanted my house to be peace. And it was not peace for a very long time. And because it was not peace within me, there was not peace around, there was not no peace around me. And then there was not no peace nowhere. Like, I couldn't find it. So guess what? Everything followed the unpeaceful me. Like, marriage, me as a mom, me as a person, me as a friend, the peace wasn't within me no more. So everything around me felt it. And it's like, if they didn't feel it because they wasn't near me, I literally I felt like my misery don't like company. So I didn't call nobody. I was in here praying and crying and warfaring. Whoever checked on me, they knew, and whoever didn't, they just didn't know. It was one of those, because like, I feel like I protect my people. Sometimes I protect people from me. Like, if I know I'm in a miserable place, I don't want other people to be miserable because I'm miserable. I'm not one of those people. That's very selfish. My misery don't like company. So since my misery didn't like company, I stayed away from everybody. Like, I feel like if I have to protect, like, sometimes I go into protect mechanism, even if I have to protect those that I love from me and my negativity, like, I would do that. And I feel like I love that for me, because I know that if I'm in a negative place, like, I can't let other people be in a negative place with me. I have to get through whatever I'm going through. And I know y'all might understand, and I know y'all might love me, but this is something that I'm going through, and I got to get through that in order to be the best that I can be in your life, however, in whatever place I'm in. If I'm your friend, if I'm your mom, if I'm your wife, your sister, your daughter, I can't be that until I get over whatever it is I'm going through. So I feel like that for me was so important, like, just being out of that element of negativity and getting out of that, like, getting out of that place, knowing that, like, I had some prayer warriors praying for me, like, baby, you gotta get in that house. You are in that house. And it's like, the spirits was in here with me, and they was keeping me in here. Cause like, y'all know, depression, anxiety, they are some demanding spirits. Like, you gonna be in your bed, you gonna be in your house. They not letting you go nowhere. You gonna sit here and you gonna dwell. And it's like, I had them prayer warriors on the back end, like, no, you not. Get out that house, get dressed. I remember I would do my makeup. I would start, cause makeup is really like me doing my hair and makeup, even though I don't need it. I have a lot of hair and it's long, and I'm pretty cute, I think. Doing my makeup, doing my hair makes me feel good. Like, I like that. So I don't really care about people. Oh, you don't need makeup, this and that. I know I don't. And I'm grateful that I don't. However, I like it. I like doing it. I like enhancing my beauty. It's like, even if I can't get whatever I'm going on in the inside, I would do my makeup, or I would clutter my house. I mean, I would declutter my house, or like throw stuff away, or declutter my space. Cause it's like, if I can't declutter my mind, I have to declutter my space. And like, that's what it was. Like, losing my son and like seeing what stillbirth is really like. It's not like you see it on the movies. And I ain't gonna lie, New Amsterdam, I gotta see what episode it was. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna put it below. New Amsterdam. I was watching New Amsterdam, and they had an episode where, a mother had a stillborn baby, and she did everything that I did. Everything. And to see me on TV pretty much lets me know that this is a thing that happens. If they can reenact this, that means that I'm not the only mom, and I'm pretty sure it's hundreds of thousands of us that went through stillbirth that did exactly what she did or did exactly what I did. Just to see that I wasn't the mom. I didn't want to keep seeing the moms that was holding their babies. I didn't want to see the moms that was rocking and crying over their babies. I want to see the moms that couldn't pick their baby up. I want to see the moms that didn't want their baby out the room with them, but didn't want their baby close to them. I want to see that mom, because that was me. I didn't even want my son right here. It took me an hour, like, of the doula moving him from there to there to there to there, zigzagging until she got him by me. It wasn't no push him out and bring him here. No. Put him in over there. I can't do it. And I don't know why. And it's okay that I don't know why. I don't even care to want to know why, because I can't go back in time. I can't go back and hold him. I can't go back and fix him. I was having dreams about him, and in all my dreams, he was born alive, and he passed away in my arms. He was still stillborn. And I didn't wake up sad, because at least in my dreams, I was able to hold him. And then I had one more dream about him where he was born, and he got to, like, he was like drinking a bottle and like grabbing oxygen, drinking his bottle, grabbing oxygen. He became like 3 months within like 5 minutes. Y'all know how dreams go. And the doctor came up to me and said, there's nothing I could do. There's nothing else. We got to pull the plug. So they started to pull the plug, but he wasn't even connected to anything. So I don't even know what they pulled. But I remember looking at him, and all the oxygen was going out of his body in my dream, and he was smiling. And I woke up, and this time I woke up sad. And I'm just like, I don't never wake up sad having dreams about my son. Like, why am I sad? And I felt like God really gave me that understanding that I was longing for. That question that everybody asks, would you have rather him pass when he passed or after? God showed me just how much any more time would have hurt, because he had his condition, and I felt like God was trying to show me he was going to pass anyway, or he was going to have complications, or something was still going to happen. So I'd rather have taken him before you even experienced him, before I let you experience him and then break your heart a little deeper, a little further. I feel like God did what he did. He took him at a time when I was ready. And whether I realized ready or not, here I come. Like, God knew I was ready at that time. He knew any earlier I would have had questions, and any later I would have had way more hurt than I did at the time that I had him. So it's like, does it make me feel better? It does. Because I feel like what a privilege it is to cast our burdens upon God, and he carried them for us. Like, he knows us. He knows us better than we do. So I want you guys to take from today, if you're a mom that lost their child, or, you're going through stillbirth, you may have a miscarriage, you might be dealing with infertility, know that everything has a plan. If it's meant for you to be a mom or anything, it's going to happen. Don't let anybody rush you to have another baby, which we're going to talk about in the next episode. Don't let nobody rush you into doing something. Don't let nobody make you feel bad because you couldn't do something the way it's supposed to look like. If you couldn't hold your baby, it's okay. If you could, great. I'm so happy that you were able to do that, because people like me that wish that I could. If you had to cremate your baby versus burying him, I buried my son. The thought of burning him and him actually being gone forever was just a lot. So luckily I had family and friends and, a good enough credit so that I can bury him. And it's like, I really have found solace in just finding, like, joking about it. It might be dark humor, but I be like, dang champ, like, if you ain't want Toots to bother you, which is my daughter, what we call my daughter, if you ain't want her to bother you, you ain't have to die. Like, I would have just let her not bother you. Like, I would have got her for you. Like, you ain't have to just go like that. But that's how I kind of keep myself afloat, just joking about the fact, like, having that communication with my son, even though he not here, I'm just speaking to myself really, because he really can't hear me. However, whatever I need to do to make myself feel better, I'm gonna do that. Like, everybody not gonna understand. People might think you crazy, and that's okay. That's okay. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to definitely, talk about what it feels like to grieve, and just grieve in your own way. If you're a poster that posts on social media, do that. If you want to post all day, no, and all that, do it. If you don't want, I'm a person that's very transparent, and I literally got off social media for 2 months, and people should have knew. People thought I was dead. People thought I was good and dead, because I post everything. So when I did come back, it was major. And I came back in a more strategic way. I knew that people would have questions. So I didn't come back when I was pregnant. I never actually fully announced that I was pregnant till maybe my son was maybe 6 months gone. I just had a podcast. If you watch my I had my docuseries. If you watched my docuseries, then you knew. If you didn't watch it, then you didn't know for a while. I never really posted him until months down the line. It took a while, for me to really, but I came out with a docuseries because I knew people would have questions. I'm a social media influencer. I'm a creator. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm also trusted and transparent on social media. So I feel like I did owe my audience something. And don't let people make you feel any type of way about that. If you feel like you want to explain to your audience what's going on with you, tell them. If you don't want to tell them nothing, don't. People gonna make shady posts. They're gonna make shady statuses. Oh, why did they record and all this stuff? I remember telling my family and friends, please record, take pictures and everything, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to when I have my son. I'm so glad that I did, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have over 400 pictures and videos, so I can relive those moments that I don't even remember. I have a few. I don't have all the pictures and videos of certain moments, and I don't remember. But outside of that, if I didn't have the videos and pictures that I have from my family and friends, I wouldn't remember anything. So take pictures. And also, if you're a person that don't like taking pictures and stuff, start taking them. Your family and friends gonna be gone one day, and that's all you're gonna have left is a video or a picture. You might be gone one day, and all your family and friends gonna have left of you is a video or a picture. Like, stop with the, oh, I don't take pictures, I'm not cute, baby. We are living, okay? We are living, and we are all gonna go one day. So we just need to just live how we need to live our lives on our own terms. Don't let social media make you feel like, oh, you posting, or this gotta be private. Oh, cause it's private to you, it ain't private to me. Like, I think I'm one of those people. Like, I always say, can't nobody tell my business like me. I don't have no shame of any. I'm not ashamed of anything, because I tell my business. That's what I do. That's my thing. So, anywho, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Subtly Still episode 2. Stay tuned for episode 3. Again, thank you guys. Make sure you are following me on all platforms. Star Ericka on every platform: Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. And also, like I said, guys, be encouraged. Know that you are not by yourselves. Angel mommies, we got to stick together. But thank you so much for watching. Have a great one.